Jim Hendrick and Dick Crippen here at Tri-Cities, Washington on the Columbia River, and Dick is down in the winner's circle with the Miss Budweiser crew.
Well, Tom, you got to feel good about that. That was the way to start out in Pasco.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you know, Bernie Little and the Miss Budweiser racing team did a fantastic job repairing the beer lady, and I'll tell you what, she performed flawlessly, and I knew it would.
You had Chip on you not at the start, but he caught up to you and then hung on your hip.
Well, my philosophy is win as slowly as possible. With Chip chasing you, it's awful hard to run slow. So I just, you know, did a great job. The boat handled perfectly, and I got to attribute that to the crew because, you know, after that 300-hour repair in a 24-hour period, it just shows how the depth of this crew. It's fantastic. Miss Budweiser racing team is great.
Well, Bernie, I think you can take a bow now.
Well, Dick, I want to tell you it's been a tough week, as you know, and we're sure glad we're here. And we feel as though that should have been the final heat, you know, running those kind of speeds. His first lap, I think, is 141 mile an hour or something. That's awful fast out there. But we'll be in the winner's circle after a while.
There you can see the damage to the Miller High Life, the flames, the heat right through the fiberglass. Let's go down to Chip Hanauer and find out what went on.
Chip, what happened?
Well, I think we had an engine failure, and then we had an ensuing fire from the engine failure.
How about the boat? Do you even guess at the damage at this point?
It's real hard until we get a chance to look under the bonnet and see into the engine compartment. We really can't see how bad it is.
And I got to tell you, you were right up there. You got right up to the Budweiser right off the hip.
Well, yes, but I think he has a lot left. Whenever he wanted to, he could just pull away from it. We got in a place where we were coming up on a lap boat, and he didn't want me to pinch him in there, and he just drove away. So I think he's got a lot of boat speed on us today.
Yeah, but as you said, that's only the qualifier, too.
It's only the qualifier. It's a significant one for us because now we have no points. It's going to be hard to get in the final.
Well, Chip, while you continue on the circuit, here's a look back to July of this year. We've seen this boat a lot on the circuit. This is where the driver sits behind the engine, the old Hulset Miss Madison. This, ladies and gentlemen, the brand new Hulset Miss Madison, a cockpit boat. It is an exciting moment for the folks of Madison. Let's go to Jim Hendrick.
The city of Madison, Indiana, proud owners of a brand new hydro, Bob Hughes, and I believe they're going to ask for bigger and better things from your crew.
We're expecting great things out of it, Jim. This is our 28th season, and we got a brand new boat, latest state-of-the-art by Ron Jones, and I feel like we're going to be very competitive. We're bringing our speed up. Ron's getting accustomed to the boat. We're tuning in some props and wings and the skid fan, and we're really looking forward to it and real anxious and real pleased and real proud.
What a difference a day makes. This gentleman here, Ron Snyder, said, I'll never drive in an encapsulated unlimited hydroplane. Change your mind quick.
Well, you know, it's a long time coming, and I got pretty well beat up in the old boat and driving one of these. Now I found out anybody can drive one of them.
It's a little different, isn't it?
Oh, there's, you know, night and day. It's just totally different up there. I've been in cab overs before, but I've never been one with a canopy over the top of it. I was the first one to come out and say I was against it. Now, nobody's going to argue me out of it because it's the thing to do.
And we'll see the new Hulset Miss Madison in this heat, Heat 1B. Also along with them, Seco Aviation Fuels, Mitch Evans, the Pocket Savers, plus Steve David, the driver. Pietro's Pizza, a local boat from Seattle. Jack Schaefer Jr. is piloting that one. There's the new Hulset Miss Madison, Ronnie Snyder. Miss Stroh Light, the automobile-powered boat. Wheeler Baker behind the wheel. And the Miss Circus Circus, John Prevost. And we'll be back with the start of Heat 1B as we continue from Tri-Cities, Washington. In the Columbia River and more unlimited hydroplane racing action, Circus Circus has had some rudder problems. They say it's fixed.
The Circus Circus is back to a full racing threat, says the crew. Is that true, Mel Larson?
That's true. We had our problems earlier in the year. Of course, we got them straightened out for a short while. We won the Gold Cup, and then we've had a few problems with the rudder since, but they've been working on it, and they thought they had it straightened out, then they had a little rudder flutter, but they say it's all ready for the race here in Tri-Cities, and so we feel we're right in the money. We're at 147 in the qualifying. Of course, the Miller and the Bud, we're going 153. But we feel, and John Prevost says that he's got the speed there now with that rudder flutter out, and we'll be the one to watch.
And now we're set to go in action, Heat 2B. 6 boats scheduled, but one is out. Pietro's Pizza with Jack Schaefer Jr. on the sidelines. Couldn't get it started. Here comes the Jackpot Food Mart, the Pocket Savers, the whole set Miss Madison's Baptism of Fire, the Seco Aviation Fuel, and on the outside, it's Circus Circus and Dick. Look at the brand new whole set Miss Madison go.
It's got to be an answer to a dream. That boat took out of that field. Now remember, this is a reciprocating engine, so he's really up against the turbine in the Circus Circus. And there you see the turbine, the pink boat, on the outside. But so far, going into corner number 1, Hulset Miss Madison, Ronnie Snyder, the driver, is holding off the turbine boat.
He's on the inside, but here comes Circus Circus. look at that rooster tail fly. He hooks it a little bit. John Prevost settles it down, and now it's a drag race down the back chute. And Whole-Set Miss Madison takes over first place again.
And there is no kidding around in this one. I can tell you that right now. John Prevost wants to know what that reciprocating engine is able to do against him. And right now, the Whole-Set Miss Madison is holding his own in there. Ron Snyder has got to be getting the ride of his life in this brand new boat. And I'm sure the people of Madison, Indiana are standing up and cheering for him right now. They have waited a long time to see this boat run. It was supposed to be debuted on the circuit earlier this season. They had to wait till here in Tri-Cities. But boy, what a debut. That is the boat that's leading on the right side of your screen. On the left, the second place boat, Circus Circus.
About 1.5 miles separates these two in speeds as the third place boat, the Seiko Aviation, takes over third from the fourth place Pocket Savers, and Mitch Evans is now getting a pretty good ride.
So we're getting some races all over the course, but the big one is right out in front, and still the Whole-Set Miss Madison is setting the pace. Johnny Prevost to Baton Rouge, Louisiana on the outside in the pink Circus Circus boat. He is trying to catch him, and you can see as he comes out of the corner, he is really powering on. Circus Circus now takes the lead momentarily, but watch the inside. On the right of your screen, let's see if Whole-Set Miss Madison can move up in there.
Our leader is the Circus Circus, John Prevost. Second, Whole-Set Miss Madison. Seiko Aviation Fuel with Mitch Evans here is third place.
We might point out again, too, that the Circus Circus is running a longer course, staying on the outside. He cannot cut in without at least 3 to 4 boat lengths between himself and the Whole-Set Miss Madison. So right now, Johnny Prevost hanging it on the hook on the outside of the race course to give room on the inside to the Whole-Set Miss Madison. Ronnie Snyder doing a great job, and there you can see again, they are just about even Steven as they come down the front straight. It is Circus Circus trying to pull on the outside. Whole-Set Miss Madison really forcing him. Ronnie Snyder just has had a spectacular ride in this boat. If he just keeps it going to the finish line, they may even have a win for the first time out of the box.
Boy, this is the first time this boat has had any action. Brand new, out of the box in this race. And again, they're side by side, going into corner number 1 almost together.
I think what we have to point out here is the tremendous confidence that Ron Snyder has in the crew and in the boat builder to put the boat in the water in the competition for the first time and to drive it like this, battling for the lead against one of the faster boats on the circuit, the Circus Circus. There you see Ronnie Snyder. Looks a little like Richard Petty there, but I'll tell you, Richard could be mighty proud of him as you look at your lead boat, the Circus Circus. This is a great boat and a great job at driving by Prevost, but he's got a great challenge, and that's the Whole-Set Miss Madison. Ronnie Snyder just doing a spectacular job at driving.
125.7. 125.7. That's exactly the first 2 laps. 134.2 for both boats on lap number 3 as we come down and complete that lap. And we now are 2 more laps to go. And look at this side-by-side battle, Dick.
This is absolutely the finest of unlimited hydroplane racing that you'll ever see. Side by side, 2 boats hitting upwards of 180 some odd miles an hour down the straightaways. As they hit into the corner, these boats tend to slide across the top of the water. They have massive skid fins off the left-hand side of the boats to literally hold the boat on top of the water. Here's your third place boat. This is the Seiko Aviation Fuels boat. It's driven by Mitch Evans. And that boat is holding right in there. But it is not in contention with these 2 boats. This is, of course, your leader. On the outside, Circus Circus. Just on the inside of him is the new Whole-Set Miss Madison. And it has been a battle of acceleration. The 2 boats trying to out-battle each other on the straightaways.
And here comes the Whole-Set Miss Madison again on the inside. Those boats are getting really light now, but both drivers are feeling the surge of excitement of competition, and they're letting it hang out just a little bit too much for my way of thinking. I wouldn't want to be in there. Look at that, side by side as they come down. The green flag is waiting. 1 more lap to go, and off of corner number 4, it's a drag race again.
Well, you know, Jim, a lot of people tend to forget that when you have a river like this, you've got banks on each side. The wakes of these boats go off, hit those banks, and then come right back onto the river again. So that after effect reaction can also add a little roughness into the water. So as the boats continue each lap, these waters tend to roughen up.
Unlike car racing where they sit a groove, the track never changes. They constantly have to read the water. Whoa, look at him get up there on that left sponson, and again, he just sails off that corner. He's really light.
I don't think Johnny Prevost had any problem interpreting that chapter in the book. I think he saw right off the bat that the boat was telling him, hey, I'm getting a little bit too loose out here. These are literally airplane wings being shot across the top of the water, and the pilot literally has to maintain a balance of water and air. Hydroplane, that's where it all comes from.
Jim Kropfeld told Tommy Deeth when he took the seat of Miss Budweiser this year, if you don't feel water, you don't hear water underneath your feet, you're flying, be very careful. And now flying for a win. As the checker flag is out here in Heat 1B, John Prevost in the Circus Circus as the whole set, Miss Madison, Ron Snyder will settle for second and pick up points toward the final.
Well, they certainly had a spectacular ride out there. Both of these drivers deserve a tremendous amount of credit, and they're getting it from the crowd here in Tri-Cities, Washington. A big round of applause going up for them now. There's your winner, Circus Circus, John Prevost.
130.3 mile an hour, the winning average for the Miss Circus Circus. John Prevost driving, and now with 100,000 people on the shores, let's go down to the pits.
Well, John, number one, I got to tell you, that's good time boat racing, buddy.
Boy, it is. That's what this sport's been wanting for is deck to deck. I don't think I wanted any more deck to deck.
How about that ride of the boat that was sitting next to you, that new hulse at Miss Madison, Ronnie Snyder? You've seen this guy out there before.
Oh, yeah, Ron is a real veteran, and, of course, that boat is a brand-new boat, and it's just a spectacular thing. And like I said earlier in the week, or yesterday when we knew who the draw was, just because I drew piston boats, that was no easy thing, but our object was to go out there and win and get 400 points, because that's a transfer into the next heat and hopefully get into the finals.
Here's our final order of finish for Heat 1B, and they'll now redraw for Heats 2A and 2B here in Tri-Cities. How about the second place boat? Let's go to the pits.
Well, Ron Snyder, let's talk about the fun of boat racing. I think you're going to tell me this is what it's all about.
Well, it is. You know, we finally got a piece of race equipment again in Madison for the city of Madison, and whole set Miss Madison is probably the best boat that I know it is the best boat I've ever been in. Ron Jones design, and I seen it before the decks went on, and I seen, oh my God, I don't know if I want to drive this fast boat or not, because I knew it was going to be fast in, but you haven't seen half of it yet. Wait till this marriage and I get together, and we really put our foot down.
Bob, I knew there was a smile hidden in there somewhere.
Oh, my. I was up in the chopper with, not with the referee, but with another chopper, and I tried to get him when the circus, we lost a little power there. I told him, I said, well, just land on top of the circus, slow him down a little bit.
You're having fun. This is when boat racing got really exciting for you.
No doubt about it, Dick. Ron Jones said he's had one to go pretty fast, and I think our Ron Snyder showed that it could. He really put her together out there.
I only wish it could have been in Madison so those hometown folks could have seen it, because it was a beautiful ride and one like they haven't seen in a long time.
Oh, my. I got pretty excited. I'm sure glad I was strapped in. I believe I'd have jumped out. I really do.
The HFC American Hydroplane Series continues from Tri-Cities, Washington in just a moment.